You've seen us go to the Disney parks, on a Disney cruise, but we found a couple of other spots off the beaten path. One that inspired the man and his team. The other takes you on a journey through the man's life. The band is on the road hitting California, so no time to trek over to Disneyland. But our San Francisco show has just been bumped to January, but the travel was already booked, so we're going anyway. And with time on our hands, we're going to the Walt Disney Family Museum. Here you can step into the world of imagination and innovation located in the heart of San Francisco's Presidio. Journey through the life and legacy of one of the most visionary storytellers of all time, Walt Disney. They have tons of interactive exhibits, rare artifacts, and personal stories that bring the groundbreaking creations to life from Mickey Mouse to Disneyland and beyond. We're going to check it all out. But first, brunch in LA. This is the Tam O'Shanter, a Los Angeles landmark where tradition, history, and great food come together. Since 1922, this Scottish-style pub has been serving up delicious meals in a cozy, timeless setting. But did you know that it also has a special connection to Walt Disney? See, Walt himself was a regular here, often stopping by for a meal after long days at the studio just down the road. It's said that he and his team would gather around the booth by the fireplace to talk shop, share ideas, and enjoy some of Tam's classic fare. So whether you're indulging in a signature roast, sipping on a cold pint, or just taking in the charm of this historic spot, you're walking in the footsteps of legends.
So cool. And his Imagineers. So you said that's an etching that he did?
He and the animators. It's a Stegosaurus
It is a
from
Stegosaurus.
Fantasia. And also the dinosaurs in the Grand Canyon.
Oh, wow.
Canyon Tour.
Hey. Hello, everybody.
Some water. We're a very unique spot in Los Angeles. So we've been here since 1922. I don't know if you guys are visiting from Pittsburgh, but it's a huge deal. 100 years in LA is basically, impossible. It's us in the Hollywood Bowl, pretty much. So this place, as you might have noticed, is a themed restaurant. We have been since the very beginning. Themed restaurants were very cool in the 1920s. So we're themed after what was a very popular poem that now no one is familiar with. It's called the Tam O'Shanter by Robert Burns. It's about a man who gets struck by lightning and chased by witches after a night of debauchery in his local pub. So if you happen to notice our lightning strike, etc., all informed by the poem. So Harry Oliver was a set designer, and he designed the building. So he also designed what is known as the Witch's Cottage over in Beverly Hills. It's a residential home. Uses the exterior shot for Hocus Pocus. He designed this building as well. So all kinds of fun details throughout the restaurant to take a look at. One thing I like to warn people, because in the poem the young man gets very drunk, Harry Oliver actually added a bunch of uneven off-kilter things. So watch your step. There's some legitimately sloping floors. So just to all kind of go in with the theme of the poem. And then this place is, of course, most famous for having been used as the inspiration for Snow White's cottage, or Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, because Disney and the Imagineers were originally located right where the Gelson's grocery store is now, over on Hyperion Avenue, and they didn't have a cafeteria, so they came in here pretty much every day for lunch. They came up with the original concepts for Disneyland here, and of course used the building as the inspiration for Snow White. Disney actually had housing built for the animators of Snow White, and when they picked everything up and moved it over to Burbank, that's the one thing that they left over in the neighborhood. So you can Google Maps them as Snow White cottages will show up. They're still over there. If you're looking for some LA property, I think they go up for about $1.7 million every time they go up, and they're 700 square feet of low ceilinged 1920s plumbing. So they're a steal. They are adorable.
You can see directly to the front.
So are the in Hollywood, the Snow White Cafe?
Yeah, the Snow White Cafe.
There's a bar?
There was.
I was gonna ask you what was Shivermore. Did you ever go to Snow White Cafe? It's not far from Hollywood Bowl.
No.
We go there before Hollywood Bowl.
They closed down and
They're gone. Yeah.
Yes, a gray. Thank you. That's exactly the right word. It gets old.
which saying that almost sounds Scottish.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, close enough.
Do you want half of my bacon?
I just want to try a bite.
You can take a bite of the bacon.
I want to bite of the bacon.
Y'all can take a bite of the bacon. I've never had an eggs Benedict like this before.
Right? Me either. This is my favorite one now.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Oh, and you had to take these antibiotics for like 2 weeks, and it's a brand new kind, and it was like $700.
Sticky toffee pudding. Gonna go this way.
In December, we went to like the night market up at like the Yamashiro.
After an awesome show in LA, we're up early to travel to San Francisco, heading to the Walt Disney Family Museum, and then tiki bars.
Where have our adventures taken us today?
Today we are in San Francisco, in the Presidio, with the Golden Gate Bridge in the background, Alcatraz on the other side, and we are going to go to the Walt Disney Family Museum.
Because, I mean, duh, Disney.
Disney.
But yeah, I mean, I think this is such a gorgeous area. Like the Presidio, if you haven't been here, is breathtaking. Like you can see the Golden Gate Bridge, you can see Alcatraz, you can see the Palace of Fine Arts and the city behind us. And
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful park, beautiful place, and really gorgeous day. Temps in the 50s, sunshine, the bay is blue. Love it.
all right,
All right, let's go to the museum.
all right, let's go.
All the Academy Awards. Oh yeah, Snow White.
Look, he even won a silver llama.
It's the family. There's Walt. Walt and Ruth. There's the house in Chicago. Trip Avenue. Still there?
We have every kind of an apple in that orchard. That's what we call West River apple.
So, Marceline, what have we heard Marceline before? Where have we heard Marceline
On the
before?
Wish. It's the Marceline Market. It's
Yep.
the buffet.
It is the buffet on the Wish.
But it's also the town in Missouri.
So Walt formed his first animation studio called Laugh-O-Gram Films in Kansas City, Missouri. He produced one-reel cartoons from 1921 to 1922.
One reel, meaning that they was only on one reel of film.
Probably like that.
Maybe the camera.
And sadly, he had to declare bankruptcy in 1923.
From Laugh-O-Grams?
From Laugh-O-Grams, yep. But then he boarded a train for Hollywood, and he was carrying a print of Alice's Wonderland under his arm. Wow. Oh, it looks like a train car.
It was a big day, the day I got on that California Limited. Just free and happy, you know. It was in 1922, so I failed. I think it's important to have a good time in your school.
That's cool. It's cool that it continues the
And
experience.
now, he made his way to Hollywood.
Hollywood. This is where it all changes. Came here with $40 in his pocket and a coat and a pair of trousers that didn't match.
So here's the history where we're at. 1923, files for bankruptcy in Kansas City. And then Roy, they both got married in 2025. Roy and Walt both got married in 1925. Moved to Hyperion Avenue in Los Angeles, 1926. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit comes along in 1927. And then Walt loses Oswald in 1928. But it is the birth of Mickey Mouse and Steamboat Willie, first cartoon with sound.
Mickey who? Hello? Hello? He's talking about the making
I was
of
saying
Alice.
how he had
A
live
live
action
girl.
with
Cartoons.
cartoons.
Look at that.
And it really was pretty cutting edge for the time when you think about it. I mean,
In 1923,
yeah,
like, looks like Felix the cat.
it does look like Felix the cat. Alice's Fishy Story, I've seen that
Have you?
cover before.
Oh.
To other things. And the bears are beautiful from Tennessee. I bet they set up everything eventually big for their vacation.
So this is such an important piece of history. Steamboat Willie.
It's where Mickey started, and
Where
that
Mickey started, it was the first talking, first cartoon with sound, and this entire wall are photos of the
animation
animation.
cells. Turned out as many as 700 drawings in one day. That's
Of
crazy. I think my hand would just be like, I can't draw anymore.
Are you playing a video game?
Yeah, see?
You play like taiko drums?
Yeah.
With distributor at the time, who years later married Charles Smith, and he took over the business of the distribution. So Charles Smith got a very important contract to Walt Disney with Universal Pictures, and they created Oswald the Lucky Rabbit in 1927. This character was very popular and very well accepted at the time. That's why Walt Disney decided to travel to New York to negotiate a new contract for Oswald. So this new contract means an increase of the budget, but his boss wasn't that happy about that. So then he decided to walk away from Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Unfortunately, he lost all the rights. And in his way back home, he brainstorming ideas of a new character for a mouse specifically. His first optional name was Mortimer. We can see in this corner, this is the first sketch of Mickey Mouse. So he was, his first optional name was Mortimer, but his wife Lillian wasn't keen on that name, and then he came up with the name of Mickey. So we find this is Mickey Mouse, and in this corner we can see Minnie. They all were born the same day together in 1928.
Aww.
People always ask me what is the relationship between them. Are they married, single, or it's complicated? But, but the answer is they're married. They're Mr. and Mrs. Mouse.
Okay.
Yeah, and they just turned 96 years.
Wow.
Last Monday, yeah. So yeah.
So which is Minnie?
The one in the corner. You can see for the eyelashes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got it.
That's so awesome.
Incredible. I didn't know that they were married.
Yeah, once the character was all set, it was time to make short films. The first one was Plain Crazy. We can see sketches here. And the second one, Galloping Gaucho. But these were, to be honest with you, they didn't catch the people's attention. But the third one, called Steamboat Willie, this was a hit because of the synchronized sound innovation.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, is that they connected the characters' movements and the sounds perfectly. We can see a video behind you where Walt explains a bit of that. So in this section, we are going to see when Mickey Mouse was a star, and he was in all the theaters around the country. We can see also Walt Disney and one of his employees, he was dressing as Mickey Mouse there. And this picture is very important. It's Walt Disney and Up Iwerks. He was Walt Disney's team member. And in this other section, we can see Walt Disney and Kay Camel, salesman Kay Camel, and they developed all this merchandise that you can see on this case. And it's from the 1930s, so it's been out for a while, as you can see. It's very this authentic merchandise. I'm just going to point a few of them, like the Mickey Mouse toy plushes. They were designed by Charlotte Clark. She fabricated these dolls with her daughter. The demand was so high, they couldn't keep up, so they decided to sell sewing partners to families so that they could make their own Mickey Mouse at home.
Oh.
And the second one, they were the Mickey Mouse watches made by this company, Ingersoll. One fun fact is this company was about to close because of bankruptcy, but they sold over 2.5 million of these Mickey Mouse watches, and they could save the company.
Wow.
Yeah, we can see a lot of merchandise from mugs, telephones. I mean, you name it. Everything about Mickey Mouse, it was very, very popular. As you can imagine, making short films was a very hard work. One example of that hard work is that wall behind you. You can see 348 drawings, and that's just less than 15 seconds of a short film.
Wow.
It was a lot of work, yeah. As you're going to continue walking through the galleries, you're going to discover other amazing innovations that Walt and his team brought to the field of animation. Thank you so much to listen to me, and I hope you have a good rest of the day.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This is about all the merchandise.
I mean, brilliant from the get-go. I mean, as soon as he decided that, all right, let's market
This is where the money.
That's where everything changed. It really comes down to, it's not something that came as an afterthought.
And I love that even the super old school Mickey watches are the ones with his hands.
Yeah.
And they still use that to this day, which is absolutely amazing. Since 1933, like, skeleton hands. Okay, so now we get to the Goth part
Yes.
of the museum.
How many bats?
I mean,
5.
5 bats?
Yep.
4 skeletons.
So for a while, it looked like the first Silly Symphony wouldn't get out of the graveyard. The skeleton dance got wonderful.
The merbabies.
Here's the next innovation. After syncing sounds, the multiplane camera, where you're able to have different cells at different levels, which gave depth to things. That's a good example.
So like you
So
can
you
see
can
the
see how big it is to the people that operated the multiplane camera.
you can see the camera on top here.
And this is an actual multiplane camera. And if you can see, I don't know if you can notice, there's cells in there. So there's a tree, and then you can see the background down at the bottom. And above that is the cell with the birds. Above that is the cell with the trees.
Is it shade? Oh. Is it?
There's a tree cell, the birds, and then that's the backdrop.
Huh.
Personality animation. You bring a character's personality to the audience by way of character move. Goofy would be a good example of that.
Mm-hmm. The 3 little pigs.
3 little pigs.
The big bad wolf.
There's another one of those multiplane cells. I love the expressions. Brave little Taylor. I got 7 in one blow. 7 giants? Sign that guy up.
It's amazing just how innovative like he was and how much he just advanced animation. So that is a Disney Studio artist layout drawing of Donald Duck's premiere scene in The Wise Little Hen from 1934. And that's the actual, like...
The actual drawing?
Yeah. It's not a replica. It's like a real thing. It's so cool.
Little Hilk.
Goofy.
Jiffy Dog.
Who is the fairest?
Happy Prince of the Groove of Romance.
What?
Fairest one of them all.
Ooh, 5 bats.
More timeline. 1936. Country Cousin wins Academy Award for Best Cartoon. 37. They adopt Sharon May as their second daughter.
Oh.
The Old Mill wins Academy Award for Best Cartoon. And the world premiere of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs on December 21st. Walt Disney's mother dies in 1938. Ferdinand the Bull.
And Snow White win Academy Awards.
Who are these guys? Can you name them all?
Yes, but I might not do it in the right order. That's Doc. That's Bashful. Grumpy, obviously. I don't know who's the next.
Sneezy?
Sneezy. Happy. Dopey, and Sleepy, and Snorri. Did I get it right? I actually think I got it right. Maybe. It's hard to not do them in the order. Doc, bashful. Grumpy, sneezy, happy, sleepy, and dopey.
All right.
I got it right. I got that right. Oh, look at that font. I'm such a dork.
Well, that's cool.
Isn't that a really cool font? Now we're getting to it. The evil queen. Does she have a name? She's just the evil queen. There's that 5 vultures. No.
You know their multiplane cell?
It's pretty awesome. I mean, really, there's no villain like a Disney villain, right? Like, Disney villains are so deliciously evil. And then, of course, it wouldn't be Disney without all the merchandise.
Porcelain figures, Snow White clock, bracelet.
Dime register bank, some dolls, records, books.
And a cutout, dolls and dresses. I played the Roseland.
Is that
Twice.
Roseland Ballroom?
Yeah. Once with Rage Against the Machine, and then once on our own, where Depeche Mode came to see us.
And you'd visualize we made us all so loyal to him because he was doing something that was good for the public.
It does.
Oh, it totally does. Oh, cool.
My daughter. Find out we can sing and everything. And boy, we went into facts and things. We were very cautious. At least at a time when the world was kind of collapsing. So it didn't do so well. It was a big disappointment for us.
So this is like a flow chart of the animation kind of workflow within the studio. So obviously it starts with Walt, and he does story development, research, character models, story sketching, dialogue. It goes down to the directors, and then kind of goes out. So to animation, music, and then of course everything has like its little recording, orchestra, piano tracks, composer, music publishing, music library. Music goes into sound goes into cutting, and then, so that's the production side of things. We also have management side of things, and then finally goes into the lab, and then out to the people.
Wow.
But it's crazy. Wait. Go back. What? Why is there a morgue there? Whoa. Dionysus is pretty great.
Oh, yeah.
Hey. This is a family channel. That's Fantasia.
Yep.
So it goes to show with the Disney strike that it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows.
Right. I mean, it was a business, right? And with all the people who were workers, they had lives, and we were talking, when you get into the 40s, you had the depressions of the 30s, and they weren't, he said Pinocchio wasn't as successful because the times were bad, and that people didn't receive it so well. They just weren't in the mood for
Something kind of dark. I mean, Pinocchio's kind of dark.
Kind of dark.
So I could see.
So it didn't work well, and so, but like the studio has the same kind of issues that real life people had to go through. So just it was a tough time, as Walt said, the toughest time of his whole life.
It was our feeling that if the air-powered theories of such intelligent advocates as General Mitchell and Seversky were fully understood and properly used, they would result in the savings of hundreds of thousands of our boys' lives.
So during the war, Walt produced a bunch of cartoon shorts with Donald Duck in uniform, and then he also was producing training videos for the military. Some of them were highly technical and on classified subjects. And then, of course, he did propaganda, public service shorts for the theater, and that's where Der Fuhrer's face came from.
I've never heard of that before.
Funny how they don't advertise it at Disneyland or Disney World. There's like a cultural sensitivity warning here.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that.
Well, it says, yeah, we learn from the negative stereotypes of the past, and we learn these lessons to create a more inclusive space now in the future. Look, it's Sam.
Ooh, we are Siamese.
If you please.
Just
right.
Breathtakingly stunning.
And I love that they just made this a glass wall so that you can see how pretty it is. I've always loved trains. The train was kind of, the inspiration for rides at Disneyland, which is why let's talk about trains.
Willie Bell. Is that really it? Or is it? That's so famous, pictures of him riding around like that in the video. Wow, the actual Lily Bell. Used to sit right there and drive this thing.
It's gotta be a replica, right? I mean,
I don't know. If it's the real deal, why wouldn't it be the real one?
It's true. It's pretty big. I mean, that's
because he would ride it. It's like they have this thing called steamers in Griffith Park in LA, and it's that size.
It's the interior of the caboose. It actually has
Jerry's developing Imagineering. Comes the proposal for Disneyland.
Disney what? Disneylandia?
And here's his map. The proposal.
where you leave today and visit the world of yesterday and tomorrow.
Which he made good on that. And the early design had the train going all the way around. Big center thing here. I mean, it actually is pretty close.
And what do we call that design? Wheel and spoke. It's
Yeah.
wheel, and then you have the spokes that go out to the different lands.
Okay, Professor Tang.
There you go. It's my nerdy Disney fact of the day. Wheel and spoke. The original model of the Fantasyland castle. Here we go.
And they built it. The Disneyland experience.
Isn't this amazing? My favorite, Space Mountain. We got Matterhorn.
20,000 Leagues.
Which is no longer there. Now Little Nemo, Autopia, People Mover.
And then Fantasyland with Small World back there. The castle is very small.
But look, it's got Tinkerbell flying.
It's got our haunted mansion.
Yeah. Oops.
Time, we overlap. Like Space Mountain doesn't look like that, obviously. But
Right.
That is the last concept design that he did.
Really? Oh, one of my favorite rides, so.
It's the Disneyland version.
Yeah. Awesome, thank you. Wow. Oh, look at the Peter Pan is really cool. Peter and Wendy in it.
Yep.
And then Mr. Toad
Oh, sure. Right next to it.
in his little car. And then the Cheshire Cat that's
Look at the
Great
teacups.
so cool. I would totally want to drive Autopia if it was still these cars. It's got a little stick shift in it. This is way cooler than the cars are now.
I wonder if it makes the same kind of putt-putt sound. Yeah.
And just stinks
sure.
like gasoline. So when Disneyland first started, you actually paid per ride. So I don't think there was admission to get in. So it was more like a fare or something. Well, I guess you have to pay to get in the fare, but you'd buy these tickets, and the tickets denoted like what ride you can use it for. So the e-tickets, those are always like the coveted rides because the e-ticket rides are the
Rise of the Resistance or Guardians of the Galaxy would be e-rides today.
Yes.
Tron.
But back in the day, it looks like Tomorrowland was the submarine voyage and the monorail. Weird. Fantasyland was Small World and Matterhorn. And then Frontierland had pack mules through nature's wonderland. Sailing Ship Columbia and Mark Twain. New Orleans Square had the two best rides, Pirates and Haunted Mansion. And then Adventureland was Jungle Cruise and Tiki Room. So
1964 World's Fair.
it's cool that one of the animators designed the Olympic torch for the 1960 Olympics, and that kind of became the blueprint for all future Olympic torches.
Really? Wow. That's the schematic for President Lincoln.
He's just like,
He's done a better job with his beard, I think. His beard has always looked kind of scraggly.
These bears. Ready then. Robot. Elephants. How about trying it for yourself? These programming joystick is just like the ones used to program the very first audio animatronic characters. You can use it to program my movements. First, try to make my head yawn. Good. Now, rock my body forward. Now we're moving, and you make my chest soft. That's a breath of fresh air. Now turn my head left and right.
Oh, the head turned.
Bueno, amigo. How about opening my teeth? Say magnifique.
Magnifique.
Natural animator. Now let's see what you can really do.
At 9:35 a.m. today, St. Joseph Hospital in Burbank, California, Walt Disney, master of entertainment empire, most complete and influential showman of this generation, died. He was just 10 days past his 65th birthday.
This is so amazing. Like, it just, the rooms fit the theme of whatever the subject that they're talking about is. Exit. Do the gift shop.
Look at that. Okay, so we just finished going through the Walt Disney Family Museum in San Francisco. And what did you think?
It was amazing. I didn't really know what to expect, but it told the story of Walt and his contributions to society so well. Every room was a new adventure, and the decor and vibe of every room that was perfectly matched.
It's so well done.
Super well done, and some great technology, and to tell the stories. It was fascinating. So many artifacts that were actually from,
like the real deal, not replicas.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you really have to come see it, but there's like an amazing view inside there. I mean, I don't want to give too much. Well, you'll watch the video and you'll see it anyway, but
the thing is, like, we just spent probably 2.5 hours in there, and
we barely saw
and like there's so much more that we could have read and
listened to and watched
and got a more in-depth understanding of everything. And so we want to come back. And I was also going to say, when you think of Disney, you think of Anaheim and California, LA, or Florida, or any of the other park locations, but you don't think of San Francisco. But make this a stop. Check it out if you're a Disney fan, because this is a fantastic museum filled with all kinds of great information and artifacts.
Yeah, if you're a true Disney fan, you have to come here because this place is really amazing. Just so much history.
Yeah,
just
great.
All about how it started. Oh, either way, it doesn't matter. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know.
So, there it is. Another We Got This adventure, Disney style.
If you like this,
subscribe, and we'll do more.
Yeah, bye.
Till the next one.